everybody, it's Sherry.
And Bria.
And welcome back to another episode of Alleged Actually Podcast.
Yes.
So, guys, tonight it is Wednesday. So that means recap day for 90 Day Single Life. And then we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Reunion Part 2. So, and Bria is going to be helping me recap 90 Day. She's not into the Housewives of Salt Lake City, so I'm going to take that on my own. So we're going to kick it off with 90 Day Single Life. So Bria, before we get into, we're going to just go down each one of the folks that were highlighted on Monday night. Not a ton going on, right?
No, it was a very boring episode, for lack of better words. Not very eventful.
That's right. But we're going to give it to you guys. What happened, our opinions. We're going to spice it up for y'all a little bit as best we can, child.
Yes.
So we're going to start off with Miss Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Debbie is getting ready to go on a date. She has decided to give online dating a try. And she has decided that her chances were going to be a little better if she skated off about 10 years of her life and brought it on down from 67 down to 57.
Yes.
Yes. So basically, her scene starts out in the car with her son, and she's letting him know that she's met a guy online whose name is Russ.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, her son, being her son with his cringe-looking self, says he wants the guy's name, date of birth, social. But child, his mama got done so wrong. I'm not mad at you.
No, I wasn't mad at that either. He's the cop also, right? I think I saw that he's the cop.
Yeah, I think he's in law enforcement, yeah.
Yeah.
And so right?
Yeah, and so I like he just has that, like, think of, big boy that used to be bullied in high school aesthetic.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't see her season, so I'm not sure what all went down with Mohammed. But I can imagine. It
was Osama. His name was Osama.
Osama.
Yes.
Wasn't there another Mohammed?
No.
I know I'm not making that name up in my head. Am I?
There was a Mohammed, and that he was with I can't remember her name at the moment. Real funny looking. Lord forgive me. Danielle.
Okay.
No, her guy was Osama.
Please forgive me. I'm Osama, not
and
Mohammed.
He was from Morocco. Yeah. So
got it. Who am I thinking about? I could have sworn somebody.
Thinking about Danielle, and I mean that went on forever. I mean that was way in the beginning of this 90-day franchise. But there's another Mohammed. There's been several different ones, no. For this one, his name was Osama.
My bad.
He was in his early 20s. Yeah, he was in his early 20s. And he kind of deceived her last season. She went over to Morocco to be with him. And basically all he was interested in is getting to America and basically living his American dream. And she was severely misled, or, so she says. Anywho, which is how she ends up on 90 Day Single Life, because it did not work out. So she's going on a date with a guy named Russ. And so, child, she's getting ready. Her ensembles, honey, that she was getting ready, she was choosing her outfits, and she decided to go with the silver number, which she's an eclectic lady. What are you going to say?
Yes. She's very eclectic. She's an artist. Beautiful art, too, by the way. I mean, she's talented. Yeah, gorgeous art.
Oh, yeah.
But, most artists are a little bit eclectic. You have to
That's
tune in to that right side of your brain. Yeah. So I get it.
Me too.
But yes, very, very eclectic. What did you think about her date? Like, just to get into it.
You know what? Like, when she first got there, he gave her a compliment. He liked her outfit. And I'm going to give it to Debbie. For 67, honey, she was doing that.
Was good, yeah.
She definitely looked good. The outfit, wouldn't be what I picked out, but she was wearing that outfit, okay?
Absolutely.
I was not mad at Debbie, and she looked good. He paid her a compliment. They go to a date to an arcade type place. Looked fun, kind of like a Dave and Buster's, sort of, kind of, with some kind of like weird character, dragon and different things. But I mean, in her world,
I feel like that was fitting for her.
I think it was very fitting for her. And they decide, and those weird kind of out there figures, dragon, demonic looking things, whatever you want to call them, but gargoyles, yeah. But they were little props when they were playing mini golf, and that's what the activity they were doing. I thought Russ was nice. He looked like a nice guy. He seemed sane. But honey, she wasn't in that place 2.5 nanoseconds before she tells the man she lied about her age. I'm like, Debbie, listen, if there was another date, or or it mattered, I'm not condoning lying.
No.
But is he even worthy of that unless I don't know. I think she told him too fast.
She did.
He did seem shocked.
Yeah. She's somebody that I feel like moves very fast. She was already kind of talking like, she was settled on this one guy, and he didn't seem super sure about it. No. And so I hope it looks like they're going to go on a second date.
They kind of agreed. It didn't seem like he was 1000% sure. To me,
no, he was
like he was wrapping it on up.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. He was caught off guard, and I guess he didn't want to look like a jerk on camera. So it was like, sure.
But you know what? To be fair, and let me just say, to be fair, Debbie overplayed her hand because she overshared about her former relationship.
Absolutely.
I think to a guy, he was 50. Was he 54? He was 54. She told him she was 57. She admits he's 67, but he says, she does look good, but I think he was a little bit taken aback. She goes on to overshare about her former relationship with Osama, that he was 24 years old. She said she hoped she wasn't oversharing, but he said he was kind of processing what she was telling him. Shortly thereafter, he wraps that date right on up with a little bow. And she can barely get the last sip of her drink, and she's like, I'm thinking we need to go on another date. And he's like, yeah. But she worries as she gets in her car to head on that she may have overshared. And I think, Debbie, you might have done just that.
Absolutely.
But it looks like she's going to get her another date on the next episode. So more to follow on Miss Debbie, honey. Don't count her out. She's just walking away with a man on this one. I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. She's very confident, and she's very sure of herself. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. So
that's definitely a step in the huge right direction. So kudos, Debbie. We're going to be watching and seeing how that goes. So now we're going to talk about John. And John, they're from Boston. They got that Boston accent. John is kind of an undeveloped character, if you will, because he really, and some of these started off as like a side character in the main person's story. So John is the brother of Patrick, who was on 90 Day Fiance with Thais, who he's now married. And they have a baby girl, which is adorable, named River. Adorable.
River. And wait, I thought it was Alicia.
Huh?
Sorry, I thought she said.
Oh no! I'm sorry. You're right. That's his girlfriend's daughter. Oop! I jumped the gun. You're right, Lacey. That's right. And so John. So with them having a baby, his brother. He lived with his brother, and he lived with his brother and new wife. He lived with them before they got married. But now that they have the baby, it's kind of time. They've moved to Las Vegas. They boot him out. And he actually is living with another brother, which I didn't know he had.
Yes. What is this? What did he say? Carlos or Carlos, my bad. But
yeah. Right.
And
he has
and his brother and his brother's partner. So
yeah, he said his brother's husband. So that's his brother and brother-in-law. And so a little bit of background about John, guys. he claims he's only had 3 girlfriends in his life. Seems like the eternal bachelor. He's one of those that always got a beer in his hand.
Yeah.
It might be an issue with the one that he's decided to pursue, being that she's a mom, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So basically, when he comes on the scene, Patrick and Thais is really asking him about, when's he going to get a girlfriend or whatever. And he says he's actually talking to this girl named Megan. And Patrick is kind of like, very skeptical. He says, no, I went to go see her. And I guess the way he said it, he thought it sounded more like a booty call.
The way he was describing it, kind of. I mean, it seemed like they were in the bed the whole time.
Well, that's actually what that's what he said. That's what he said, ain't it? That is what
sexual chemistry is important. So I mean, it
shouldn't have been the whole time you're there, but okay,
right.
They had to talk about something, child. But anyway, that's what he said. Mm-hmm. Basically, though, they had been like communicating for 4 months before he went out there. So I mean, okay. He's 39 years old. His love interest, Megan, is 33, and she's from San Antonio, Texas. And Thais was quick to tell Patrick that his relationship status on Facebook is now in a relationship. And we all know, honey, it is not official until you are Facebook official. Just saying.
Absolutely.
He's off the market, ladies, according to Facebook. So basically, he talks a little bit more about Megan. Like Bria said, he goes to visit, says that they spent the most of their time in the bedroom. Says they have that physical chemistry thing going on. He seems to really like her. She's beautiful, by the way. The pictures they show of her, she's stunning. And she's a mom. She has a 4-year-old daughter, and her daughter's name is River. So that's where I got the name from. But not a whole lot going on there other than it's in preparation to go back and see Megan again. He's packing. He's now at the little brother's house that he lives with. So I guess he goes from brother to brother, which is another issue, for places to live.
Right.
And they're just basically talking to him about, their concerns, his irresponsibility and whether he's going to be able to maintain a relationship with a woman that's a mom. And
I mean, I don't think, I think he is one of those eternal bachelors to where he just doesn't seem like the type to want to really be a husband. And if he does become one, it will be very short-lived, is what I get from him. He doesn't seem like he likes a whole lot of responsibility.
Right.
Doesn't really, does he work?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't say, but I'm assuming he does. Didn't he work with his brother doing something?
I don't know. I can't.
I'm not going to sit here. I'd have to look into that.
Don't let me
talk about it next week.
But it seems like he couch surfs.
Yeah.
Like from brother to brother. And maybe, I guess, because he said initially that he wouldn't usually go for moms. But what I'm getting is that he sees that both of his brothers have significant others and he's looking to jump ship to her house.
He didn't like it because he did talk about relocating.
He did. And so I think that he's a bum and she's not going to be happy long.
Not being a mom. I mean, you bring in somebody around your 4-year-old daughter. I mean, he's going to have to step it up. But
yeah.
Honey, that's pretty much what Mr. John was giving on this episode. So
very much giving bum, I wanna.
You know what? Let's give him a chance. He seems to really like Megan. Sometimes the love of a good woman can bring a bum into, into good mandom. I don't know. Let's stay positive, Bria. Jeez. Moving right along to Miss Natalie. Ciao. Not too much for her either, child. So we can go on back to the little box we was talking about last week. Turns out, turns Turns out that the guarantor thing didn't work out for her. Josh was like, no, ma'am. But what he did work out for her is if she put a little more money down, she could get it. So you see her in this episode moving in with her mom. The place was supposedly furnished, but as I recall, when they looked at it last week, did you see any furniture, Bria?
I ain't see not a lick of furniture in there.
No, me neither.
Saw that busted window.
Josh is fronting. I mean, granted, they walk all the way through it, but honey, that room they was in was completely empty, so furnished where, but unless that was, child, I can't. Anyway.
Right. Maybe they didn't show the full thing and there was some furnishing somewhere that we didn't see.
Somewhere in that 600 square foot that we didn't see last week. But anywho, okay. So with her moving in now, settling in, Natalie believes her and Josh's relationship have hope. Okay. So then we get to the scene that they kind of sneak peeked last week where they have dinner with her mom. Mm-hmm. Let me just say this first off. Natalie is a younger version of her mother.
Yes.
They are very much alike. They share the same. Of course, I'm not going to blame her mama for her delusion because she can only go off of what her daughter tell her. But to act like this man owed them all, child. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody's coming out to see you, yes, it'd be nice if you pick them up from the airport. But the way she was carrying on, talking about, we had 3 bags. Now, did you catch that where Natalie didn't translate quite right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She know her mom ain't feeling him. And I don't blame her mom for her delusion. However, her mom has played a part in it, and that she's filled her head up thinking that she's the most beautiful thing walking. And you should, that, it's your daughter. But she takes it a little far, saying that, she literally deserves the entire. I don't know how to.
As a mom, you want your daughter to have that.
Absolutely,
so I'm not gonna
yes.
However, I want that for you.
Yes. However, when you feed into this delusion where she's just this drop dead stunning, the most perfect person in the world, and can do no wrong, and all of these men owe her every penny that they have.
That's the key word. Yes. They don't owe her. And in relationships are two-way. Natalie wants the man to give it everything at her feet while she sits there and just accepts it. Cute.
Yes.
Right. That part, yep, I give you that 1000%. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
That is what I'll blame the mother for, because nobody owes you anything.
Absolutely not.
And you are still married to Michael.
Amen, sister.
Paying for you to be there, and then you're up under Josh, who really could take you or leave you. Honestly, it's just not. It's not giving it. It's not, because I know what her aesthetic is. I'm a supermodel. I'm the boss babe. But you're looking like a desperate, delusional pick me. It's not giving. It's not giving. So
it's not. It's totally not giving, and her mom's not helping. But pretty much, guys, that's Natalie's scene. I mean, she was a clip of dust in this episode, but I mean, rightfully so. She pretty much hijacked last week, so we'll see how her and Josh develop. But I mean, let's not hold our breath, shall we? Let's move right along to Miss Chantel, aka Barbie. She's still in Greece with her good girlfriends. And they are getting ready to go and visit Soccer Babe, aka Soccer Babe, aka Giannis.
Greek salad.
I live for that Greek salad. I like that. That was kind of cool. I don't know.
That was cute. I like that too.
It was mad cute. It was. So she convinces her friends because they were totally not trying to go 4 hours to see Soccer Babe. They were like, you can't find no man on this whole entire resort area that we're currently at. But to be fair, Giannis was really attractive. They seemed to have a vibe going, and he invited her. And what are friends for? They're supposed to be there for her, right? Okay, for Chantel to get her groove back. So a good girlfriend would get in that car and roll in 4 hours. And that's what they do. So, and it really starts with her friend Destiny, which is, I think, her truest friend. I do believe the other two are like makeup and hair for her too. So, I mean, that don't mean they're not her real friends, but it seems like her and Destiny are the real actual,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
With absolutely. That she's not paying. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So basically she does convince them, so they're on their way, and she's really excited. She said that this is the happiest she's been since her divorce from Pedro, and now she's starting to feel like her old self. I'm not gonna drag her like I have done last time we talked about her, so we're gonna let her live today. Poor baby, she looked happy.
Yes. It's just,
listen, she's a beautiful girl, guys. She is beautiful.
Absolutely. Beautiful girl. It's just that there's not a whole lot like, you know what I'm saying?
The far away I know what you're saying. Yes, we're just trying to help them understand what we're saying.
Yes, rewind back to last week for that far away look that I was
referring to.
Yes, and so we won't drag again, like you said.
We're not gonna drag her this week. We're gonna let her live. I mean, she's on her way to see Mr. Giannis. There is one drag first of all, I must decide this drag, Bria. I will not finish Chantel until I want to come for Miss Man that did her hair. Now that's the best you could do with her hair. Now I realize y'all was in the car. So let me set it up for you guys. Let me set it up for y'all now. They were in the car and Giannis says, hey, can y'all meet me? He texts her and says, can you meet me at 7? At this time, they're 3 hours into the drive, so they got about an hour. They were going to go straight to the hotel, but child, they don't have time. So she got to get with it. That means wardrobe, hair, makeup in the space of the car, child. And she's no foreigner to that because she's cheerleader and child. Anybody used to cheer because I used to cheer. We used to cheer. Wardrobe changes in small spaces. It's nothing new now. Cheerleader can do it. It's amazing how you can get in and out of something without people seeing a thing. Good at it. Very. But what she couldn't seem to achieve, one of her good buddies, I'm gonna say her name too, sure am. Let's see, Miss Kaylee. Because Moni was doing makeup. So it was all Kaylee. It was all you, Kaylee. The best you could do for them tracks is pull it up in a ponytail with a half braid and that kitchen hanging down. Kaylee. This girl done took you all the way to Greece, and that's the best you can do. You know she about to go see Soccer Babe. That's no friend. Chantel. That's not a friend. And I've seen the scenes when she walking up to see him, honey. That ponytail goes from hanging down and wrapped up in a bun and that kitchen hanging low. Now listen. I am not happy with you, Kaylee. And we will visit next week. But you are officially dragged for that. That was wrong. And you know she's going to see Soccer Babe. That ain't even right. Bria, please.
Yes, I get with you today. Oh, you did it. You did the drag that I wanted to do. Yeah. So and so I don't, didn't the episode end or that
it actually ended with her talking about how she's so curious like a cat. I was like, Chantel, I'm gonna really need you. Because she said, like, when she's really into somebody, she really likes to know everything about them, get information. She's curious like a cat. It was that thing again. Sis, I'm gonna need you to please pull it together.
Just like
that's literally how the episode ended, y'all. I was looking at the TV screen like, so we're out of order because we're gonna end with Tim, but I just want y'all to know. 90 Day Single Life.
I give her a script. Give her a script. She doesn't know what I don't think that
she's not good off the cuff. That's normally Pedro's actually better at it.
Yes.
That's Mama's job. Her brother.
Yes. She cannot carry a show by herself at all. That's what made the show go for so long, because she doesn't have it.
It would just be snippets in between of scenes. And a lot of times in confessionals, she was either with Pedro, with her mama, with Winter, with River, just rarely by herself. And then there's a reason for that. Now, her friends could have hopped in there with her, but they didn't. So now I'm going to say, we're going to rock with you, Chantel, because,
They said she don't pay them enough for that. So.
Okay. Perhaps. So I gotta say, y'all tune in next week and watch her when she goes see Soccer Babe and see if I'm not right. And then took that braided ponytail and wrapped it up in a bun, and she see all that kitchen hanging down. But we'll talk about that next week. That's all I got on Chantel, honey. We're gonna move on to Tim. Unless Bree, you have anything further?
I do not. Let's move on.
All right. Well, we're gonna go on over to Mr. Tim. Now, Tim, you going on this date now with cute little Louisa. And she cute. She cute.
As a button.
Absolutely. So this is Louisa from last week when he went to the little singles event. And this is a lady that he had met online that he chatted with, but never went anywhere because at the time she was in a relationship. He was. So I don't know why they was online chatting, but y'all, I'm gonna leave that alone. And he takes her to go play croquet. There's one thing he said that I found laughable and perhaps draggable. Shall we go there now, Bria?
Let's do it, because I feel like I know what you're.
Okay. Those of y'all that don't know, Tim loves him a Latin woman, particularly Colombians. So he goes on to say, he talks about his love of Latina women. Says he loves the culture, he loves their accents, and he finds them more feminine. Jennifer's jawline?
Right.
But feminine, that's subjective, because perhaps, y'all, I don't mean no harm, but he's very feminine. So I'm not sure.
Extremely. The fact that he was in, and yes, we talked about the jawline, and it was very, but she was a beautiful woman. Literally shared a bed with her, never touched her the entire time. Never touched her. Wanted to be in the bed doing face masks and things like that, rather than touching skin and getting. And she was like, and she was with like, it. She asked, she said, "Are you gay or something? Do you like?" Because she couldn't make sense of it, and neither could we. So I know that metrosexual is a thing. I know, but
he takes it to another level. But I mean, to each his own. I mean, Louisa, she likes him. She loves his green eyes, so that he's got that going for him. And the thing that wears me out, and like I said, perhaps in time something will come out that we're not getting, but she tells Tim that she really likes affection, and he was just like, well, if that's the case, I'm really slow. If you're looking for a PDA or a lot of affection, I'm not your guy.
That's not me. That is not me. Yeah.
But anyway,
he said he likes to take a slower approach. He likes to move very slow.
Wrong with that. Absolutely, but I mean, a little handhold, a kiss, a hug.
No, right. Because we've seen him in a relation. Like we've already seen it, how it plays out and how slow he takes it.
That is accurate.
To
a fault.
Yes. I mean, would not. And so that's because there was a rumor also that he's a transitioned male.
I know, I've heard that too, but I haven't. Yeah.
No, and I. However, it just.
If that's the case, he's never admitted. Right, that's totally alleged. He's never admitted it, and I would think that I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, I don't know.
I don't see why he wouldn't either, but I just something's not right. It's not right.
No, it's something, but we're gonna keep watching. Just to give you guys a little bit more, and like I said, this pretty much wraps up the episode. But basically, he tells Louisa he's looking for something long term and more serious. And he asked her, what does she give him on this date? What does he rate on this date? If I mean a 1 through 10, and she gives him a 5. Yep. And he says, what can he do to get more points? And she says, learn to speak Spanish. Mm-hmm. And he does know a little bit because he stays in a relationship with a Latina woman. That's his preference. And so he asked her out in a little bit of broken Spanish. She's looking at him a little crazy, but she got the gist. He asked her, he asked her on a second date, and she agreed, y'all. So more to come with Tim and Louisa. They do actually make a cute couple. She is cute as a literal button, y'all. She's adorable. Probably the cutest one he's been with, I'd say.
I would definitely say so. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Veronica.
Right. Sorry, Veronica, because we love you. But no, this Louisa is adorable. I mean, she's
really cute.
Yeah, she's very cute. So, that's pretty much it for 90 Day, guys. Keep tuning in. We're gonna keep tuning in. If you have anything you want to discuss, drop it in the comments. Anything you want us to talk a little more about, we're gonna keep bringing you the episodes. We'll be back next Wednesday and talk a little more 90 Day Single Life. But yeah, that's it for this one. And we're gonna transition into the reunion part 2 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. To my beautiful co-host Bria, I say thank you. All right, anything else you want to say to our listeners, Bria?
Thank you all. We are at 500 subscribers now, and that is such a blessing. Thank you so much. Please, continue to like, comment, and thank you for being
subscribe here. Absolutely.
And share, and people that are already subscribed. But
keep coming back.
If you're not subscribe. Hit that little button down there. Subscribe.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Reunion Part 2. Guys, this one, everybody is just holding out for that story from Heather Gay on how she got the black eye. I knew they were going to drag it out till part 3. And I was right. But let's talk about part 2. There was some revelations. There was a lot of focus on Monica. And then Miss Mary Cosby makes her entrance midway through the reunion. But it starts off with a lot of flashbacks with scenes with Monica and her mom, Linda. That seemed to be a lot of the discussion for the beginning of part 2. They have a very tumultuous relationship. There's certainly no secret about that. And they talk about what happened with her family in Bermuda, why, in fact, that her mom would have come in between that because she hadn't seen her family in Bermuda for years. So she basically says that her mother had contacted the producers trying to see if she could be included on this Bermuda trip. And child, they were like, no. I mean, she's not a cast member. So Monica believes, or she alleges, that she believes her mother sabotaged the meeting with her family in Bermuda because she, in fact, was not invited on the Bermuda trip. Child, I don't know. And to give you a little bit of insight, Monica says at the age of 12, her mom left her with a family member while she went off to go pursue her dreams of being on television. And so maybe like the fact that this show was maybe like she felt like it was her moment too. Or that's what Monica alleges. Now, let's be clear, guys. Andy seemed to be lapping up all of the things that Monica was saying. And to be honest, her story certainly made her more relatable. a little less villain, more of a victim. I think that was Annie's way of solidifying the fact that she will probably more than likely be back for another season. And I'm not mad at that. I mean, Monica brought something to Salt Lake that needed to be brought. The reviews of other fans are mixed. You know, some say Monica's needed. She brought the fire. She stirred things up. Others say she's vile. She's a liar. I don't believe anything she says. I mean, listen, I think she certainly plays a villain well, but she plays the villain with a likable side to her. So I think she is good for the show. I'd like to see her come back for another season. They did say that Monica kind of played her cards too fast. I don't know that that was by choice. I mean, she was outed by Heather with the whole reality Von Teese thing. But it's like, kind of, where do you go from here? But I could see them developing, getting into her life. She's now divorced. Maybe next season they follow her into, you know, the friends that she alleges helped her with reality Von Teese, what that dynamic looks like, her maybe trying to date. I don't know. But anyway, a little more, they talk about her mom, said a lot of things about her on social media. She lets it out there that her and her mom are no longer speaking and actually have not spoke since the finale episode, since they closed up the episode or closed up the season, which is sad, guys. I mean, she talked to Lisa about how, I guess she tried to paint Monica out to be a really bad person. I want to talk about her mom. Lisa said that she witnessed her mom being nice and lovely. She just didn't realize at the time how tumultuous their relationship was. And she said it was clear that now she sees that maybe her mom indeed wanted Monica's spot. So it was said in her final interview to be on, she talked about her final interview to be on the show. I guess there's like multiple interviews that you have to go through before they decide who's going to be casted as a housewife. And Monica had her final interview, and she was sharing the story with the ladies and Andy. And she said that after she finished her interview, she felt like she really bombed it and she ruined her chances of being on the show. First place she goes to is to her mom's to kind of cry it out. And she says her mom says, well, let's say a prayer. So she says her mom prays and says, you know, Lord, if Monica doesn't get it somehow, some way, please let me get it. Y'all, I don't know. I'm not saying it's not true. I mean, her mom did seem like she was a mess. But I wonder how much, and y'all, this is just me now, this is just sharing. But I truly wonder how much is it of her trying to save her reputation or her solidifying her spot just to make sure that she's not completely villainized so that people want to see more about her. I don't know. I mean, it's not like she's far-fetched from lying, because she was caught in another lie. We're going to get there too. And so the ladies were invested. They were listening to her share about her mom. And basically Heather asked her if it was so bad and everything, why did she film with her mom? Because she didn't have to. I mean, she could have opted to say that she would not have her mom in the scenes. And I mean, Monica was cast on the show. Her mom, Linda, was not. But she basically said that pretty much at this point, she was just kind of used to it. She was used to the way her mom treated her. That's a shame if in fact that is true. And like I said, I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to dissect through it all. Andy seemed to be buying everything Monica was selling. And I really think that was his way of easing us back into the notion that she's coming back. Like, I hope she does. There's a ton of people out there that don't want her back, though. So there's that. So since they were talking about the relationship between Monica and her mom, I guess some other ladies have had some rough spots with their parents as well, their moms particular. He asked Whitney how the relationship is with her mom, because you get to see Whitney's mother in the episode of her daughter Bobby's birthday, that her mom was there. She reveals that for 16 years they were estranged. And but they clearly are in a better place now. And they talk about that. He asked Heather about, how the relationship with her and her father is going, and they don't speak. And a lot of that is because Heather's left a Mormon church and her family are devout Mormons. And so it just doesn't line up with, what I guess her father meant for his family. And then Whitney also goes on to talk about the relationship with her father. He was shown in a couple seasons back, her father struggled with addiction. That was even when Whitney took her dad to Mary's church. Mary prayed for him and all that. And so, but she lets everybody in on the fact that her and her father are no longer in contact. She just said at this point in her life, because if you really pay attention to Whitney, it does appear that Whitney has really tried to do work on herself. She really is trying to be a better person and learn, how to grow. I mean, I think she's made strides in her marriage, personal self, and trying with relationships. And, I applaud her for that, And so from there, we go into Greek Easter. So apparently during Greek Easter, there was an event at Angie K's house. And at that event, Monica actually fell down Angie K's steps. They show a clip of Monica saying something, and then you just hear the tumble. Camera pans to the back of her, midway, almost more than midway down the stairs, where you can clearly tell she's fallen. And, people are coming, they're there to kind of help her out. One shoe, she said, came off. The other was kind of like hanging off by a strap. There's a scene where she shows how bruised she was and bloody. That's the scene where she basically told her mom, "Hey, I'm out. If you can stay here if you want, find your own way home," basically. And she goes on to say that her mom, that the production called an Uber for her mom, but her mother would not get in it because it was a Subaru, child. I mean, Miss Linda sounds like a mess. I don't know. So then it goes on to talk about Angie alleges that Monica lives her life suing people. And Monica's like, "Well, when have I tried to sue anybody? Who have I sued?" And Heather was like, "Well, you're suing me." However, we go on to find out that Heather is in fact suing Monica, and Monica has a countersuit. Now, Heather suit is actually collections, trying to collect on her tab at Beauty Lab, which is Heather's business, where apparently Monica ran up a tab, or allegedly, and has not paid. So there's that. Now with Angie alleges that it had been stated that she was going to sue her. They do pan to a text message where Monica puts up there, "I should sue your ass," blah, blah, blah. Then Monica goes on to say Meredith is the one that actually encouraged her to sue. She was like, "You like her house? Let me tell you how you can take her house." And you could tell when it came up, Meredith said it. Now, whether she said it exactly like that, I don't know. But you could tell by her body language, Meredith said it. So anyway, from there, basically, we go into Lisa and Monica. And child, that was a hot, hot mess. Now, generally speaking, my man Andy really usually holds down a reunion. And there are times when the housewives get a little bit crazy, overtalk him, get to arguing, but he usually can kind of like scream, "Shut up," or do something and kind of pull it back. I mean, Lisa, who child does not stop talking anyway. And Monica just went to town, and he really could do nothing. Like, you literally see Andy just kind of sitting there like he lost control of the reunion. So there's that. And then they talked about Monica and her aliases. So apparently Monica has gone by a few different names. So there was Monica Fowler, that was her married name. She has gone by Monica Darnell, which was the part of her mom's name. That's from her mother's side. And then I think it was like a Monica Darnell Delgado, which was her mother's surname. And now she goes by Monica Garcia, which is on her father's side. She said that she goes on to tell her mom's story about how her mom chopped Delgado off and just changed her name to Lisa Darnell because apparently she was teased for being Portuguese, being called a derogatory name for Spanish-speaking people, and got tired of being picked on, so kind of dropped the Delgado. And then she said that the ladies had alleged that she had taken on her Latin surnames to make herself more Latin for the show. And when Andy asked who was the one that said it, and she said it was Lisa. So hence a little more screaming goes on, and we finally get them off of that. And then we talk about Lisa's son Jack's mission trip. The child, it didn't even happen. All that talk this season about him going on that mission trip, and the boy didn't even go. I guess it takes time. They have to process, your visa and all this, your paperwork before you go. And while they were doing that, he spent time in California. Lisa admitted that he slowed the process up because he had taken a picture of himself on some kind of boat, honey, shirtless. She talks about her son's abs. I don't know. But of course, in doing so, they rejected the picture. And so the visa was denied at first and prolonged. At any rate, he ended up not going on that mission. Then they talked about why Heather and Whitney kind of fought over the fact that Whitney supported Jack in going on this mission, that Heather called her a hypocrite. And just, and then they wanted to know why, in fact, Heather was triggered by the whole thing with the mission trip. And it just simply goes back to her time as being in the Mormon church, It's like she wanted to be included when Lisa threw a party to celebrate her son's mission trip. But in the same regard, it just took her back to those days when she was in the Mormon church. And that's understandable. Honestly, it really is. And so she lashes out at Whitney. Honey, that's just what she does best. Like I said before, those cousins they don't know how to cousin right. And so anytime Heather can blame Whitney for something, she seems to do so. I really feel bad for Whitney sometimes. She almost has like this little girl quality about her that seems like she's searching, and she tries to stand up for herself. It just doesn't always land well. I don't know. Well, anyway, so we wrap that up pretty much. And so now we get to the part of the reunion that a lot of us have been waiting for. Miss Mary Crosby makes her way to the stage. Before that, they all take a break, and Monica goes backstage, and Mary goes into her dressing room, and they talk. And Monica's basically saying how the ladies are kind of ganging up on her about the whole reality Von Teese thing. And Mary's like, they haven't given you a chance to talk and explain your side. And she's like, no, they just, they're just all ganging up on me, and I haven't had the opportunity to tell my side. Mary says that's unacceptable, and she, in fact, has Monica's back. Okay. So, when she does come to the stage, of course, Andy's first thing is, of course, he greets her, says he's glad to see her. Mary looks good. I feel like she's got fillers or something. Her face looks fuller. Maybe she's gained some weight, but she looks a lot softer. She looked really pretty last night. So I liked her look. Work, Mary, work. So Andy asked her, why did she not show up for the last reunion? She basically said she just didn't feel comfortable. And in a way, I understand that. That was when Whitney and Lisa indirectly tried to allege that there were some issues in her church, Mary's church, and Whitney used the word predator. And they asked Whitney why she used that word. Whitney apologized, and she admits that it also triggered memories of her childhood in the church. And predator was basically her experience, and that was the word that she used. I understand Mary's anger about that because that word holds a lot of weight, especially in this day and age, predator, because it wasn't clear predator of what type. Sexual predators, predator in the fact of, taking people's money. It just wasn't a good look. So Mary just decided for the reunion, she just stayed clear. She didn't show up. And so, but she's here now. And she said, Andy asked, why did she agree to come back? And so apparently Mary is actually a friend to the show. She didn't come back as a full housewife. And so now it makes sense that she was on the trip to Bermuda and she wasn't in a lot of the scenes. She's definitely there as a friend to the show. But she said she was coming back because she felt like they needed her. And the ladies kind of shook their head, and Andy was like, asked the ladies, did they in fact feel like they needed her? Of course, Angie K jumps in first and says, yeah, I mean, she definitely added like a comedic aspect to the show. And Mary, in true form, asked her, or basically says, Angie, you just got here. Why are you talking? Honey, one thing about Mary, child, she don't mind being rude. She tells them what she thinks to their faces. So, but Heather goes on to say that she was happy to have Mary back. Whitney also said that she was happy to have Mary back, particularly in hopes to try to repair a relationship with Mary, but honey, Mary wants no parts of that. So, anyways, then basically Andy asked Mary which people on the cast does she actually like, because it was clear they did a million flashbacks of her insulting different ones at different times. I mean, Mary is Mary, like I said, I too thought that she did. I said in one of my recaps before that she didn't add a whole lot, but she did add that comedic aspect, and she was right. New to the show or not, she had it down pat. She did add a little comedy relief, so to speak, but she basically said the ones that she liked was she liked Monica. She liked Angie, which she had just torn Angie up, but she said she liked Angie nonetheless. Angie seemed pleased. And she likes Meredith, which I told you guys, her and Meredith were always cool. So there's that. Said she used to like Heather before Heather started talking about her house. And you see the flashback of Heather's insults, like just talking about her decor, kind of calling it like Dr. Seuss type. I mean, it is a little eclectic, but child, she kind of roasted her house, and really Mary wasn't here for it. So now she's off Mary's nice list, so to speak. And he just lets her know, though, she may have talked about your house, but you also called her an inbreed. And Mary shakes her head, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I said it, and I'm in it. And he basically asked her, which is worse, her talking about your house or you calling her an inbreed? She says, honey, old girl talking about her house. Listen, Mary she's different. And pretty much Lisa chimes in, and Mary basically says, honey, me and you are done. And Mary's like, oh, yep. I mean, Lisa's like, oh, well, Lisa, child. So then it goes on to the statement that she made about her son, Robert Jr. Well, first he asked Mary if, in fact, Robert Jr. is married, because in this season, he did tell his mom that he married this young girl. He's young. He's only 21. Mary said she wasn't sure because she hadn't seen proof, like a marriage license or so forth. But, honey, she must believe it if they're living in her house. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't gonna let my sons bring no woman lay up in my house if they're not married. That's just not how I get down. And Mary either. So let's just say I'm fairly sure Robert Jr. is married to the young lady. The child, then one of the cringe moments of the evening, when she goes on to talk about, Andy asked her about her stating that her son was bad in bed. And she said, I didn't say that, but apparently she was referring to a time where she'd overheard something in her house. She had one time walked in on her son and his wife having sex. Another time she overheard it. And I guess the girl was carrying on and screaming and whatever. And she was saying, look, don't make it out that he's better in bed than what he actually is. Tell the truth. Don't fake it, in other words. Honey, that was a cringe moment. You literally see Angie, who was sitting by Mary, kind of scoot herself on over to the side, child. Mary is a mess, y'all. And Andy was like, okay. Cringe. Very, very cringe. So from there, basically, we go on to talk a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, so we talked about the predator comment because Whitney seemed nervous to film with Mary. And she said that she wasn't really nervous, but she did want an opportunity to make things right with Mary, which Mary was not having. And then, like I told you about the predator comment, why she said that she felt that way, because it triggered her from her childhood when apparently she had been the victim of some sort of assault, sexual assault in the hands of someone in the church. And then, y'all, the moment of the night that I felt really bad about, and we're going to talk about it. Mary goes on to say Whitney is a racist. And Andy asked her, based on what? Or why did Mary feel that way? And she said because of her religion, how she grew up in the Mormon church. And she goes on to talk about that the Mormons believe that Black people were a result of Cain and almost like a curse. And that's their doctrine. But Whitney goes on to say, well, she actually apologized for it. And she also made the comment that she, in fact, had left the Mormon church for not just that reason, but many other reasons. There were things that she was taught as a child that she no longer subscribed to. She didn't believe that anymore. I thought, y'all, that was wrong. Now, you can not like somebody all day long, but to throw out something like that is baseless. And you could look at Whitney's face and you could tell that really hurt her. And she went on to ask Mary if, in fact, she had done something personally to her to make her feel that way, where Mary said no. Y'all, now listen, I am a Black woman, and I don't hurl that out at white people that I don't like just because I don't like them. I mean, Mary, no. You was wrong for that. Wrong. Whitney has a business, her brand. That is very inflammatory. Based off of nothing that she's done to you or nothing that you witnessed come out of her mouth, that was flat out awful. I mean, listen, you're in Salt Lake. Heather grew up in the Mormon church. Lisa's still in the Mormon church. I mean, to say that and then direct it only at Whitney because of growing, you can't help what church you grow up in. I mean, when she knew better, she chose to do better. Very, very unfair, Mary. I'm not here for that at all. So, anyway, they go on to argue a little more, and then Lisa wants to know, because Lisa's still mad, honey, because she said that that Mary said that her and Lisa were done. So Lisa's like, well, would you feel differently about Monica? Because she basically was taking up for Monica. And she was like, well, would you feel different about Monica if you knew that Monica called you a dumb bitch? You could see Mary's energy kind of shift. And, child, so, Lisa is ready to get with it. She wants them to go ahead and play that audio because apparently there are quite a few audio clips out there of Monica when she was in her mode of kind of calling herself exposing folks, or when in fact she seemed to really expose herself a lot. So y'all, it pretty much ended up there. It's going to be next week before we find out what happened to Heather's black eye. Reunion 2 didn't give too much. Like I said, a lot of people are waiting to see Mary come back. And like I said, I was very disappointed in her racist comment against Whitney. I thought that was so wrong. I really did. And like I said, Whitney was like a little wounded bird. I really hated that for her. That's rough, because it's hard, like I said, to throw it out with a baseless comment. I'm not here for that. So guys, that's what we got. Again, I echo what Bria said. Thank you so much to each one of you guys that have reached out and have subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. I'm just going to ask you guys to keep sharing, keep liking, giving us comments and feedback. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to be recapping First Night Denver. We're going to have another episode that's going to unfold as they get a little closer to decision day and the new couple that they put together.